Hi there, Eric Tapper here with GlobalComix, and in this video we're going to talk all about the talent marketplace. This is going to be a multi-part video, so feel free to navigate around to the topic of interest using the timestamps in the description below. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. This video is going to come in 5 parts. We're going to talk about how to create a listing for hiring folks, how to create a profile and a listing for getting hired. We're going to talk about how to actually apply to each of those listings. Then we're going to talk about how to manage your listing, things around promotion, analytics, and managing the applications themselves. And finally, how to get a free legal consultation with Creative Contract Consulting led by entertainment and comics lawyer Gamal Hennessy as a complimentary offering for people who use the talent marketplace. So without further ado, let's hop in. We're going to go to globalcomix.com. We're going to go to the top here and click Talent. You're going to be presented with the feed from everything going on in the talent marketplace. If you're looking for projects that are seeking people, you click up here. If you want to take a look at people who are trying to be hired as individuals, you click here in the For Hire group. You can then, of course, sort by different types of rewards or different levels of rewards, and then the different roles and types of rewards here, production outputs, etc. So that way you can narrow down your search. So first thing we're going to do here is create a new listing. We're going to create a listing for a project that's going to be seeking people. And we're going to look for English-speaking folks in this example. We're going to create this listing. And what you're first presented with here is the opportunity to introduce yourself. This is what people are going to see first as the headline and the sub-headline of your project. So I actually have some pre-written text here as sample just to fill this in. And we're going to create a short intro summary. So just basically giving people an idea of what we're thinking about without too many details, just kind of give them that initial impression. We're going to click next. We're going to then identify which production outputs we're looking for, right? So let's say we're looking for multiple comic issues. We think that there's going to, let's say, be 3 24-page comics. That's going to be a 72-page output. And we're going to say this is for teens and adults. And it's going to, let's say, be involving aliens, friendship, magic, military monsters, organized crime, and science. You can select as many as you like. This is all about your creativity. And then, of course, we're going to look for things in, let's say, the Western and realistic style. There won't be mature content in this example. We then move on to our roles and rewards. So this is where you can actually identify the multiple people you're trying to hire for this particular project. You don't need to create multiple listings if you're trying to hire multiple people under a particular umbrella. So in this case, let's say we're going to say a writer, and we're going to say it's going to be a flat rate. And of course, this is not reflecting any kind of reality. Everybody's project is different, but we're going to say 150 for the flat rate. Let's say 500, right? Role, and let's say we're going to add another role here, artist, and just for simplicity's sake, we're just going to keep everything even. Again, do not use these values as guidance, just to show you how this whole thing works. So we need a writer and an artist in this case, and we're going to then move on to our description. So this is where you have an opportunity to give people a clearer idea of what exactly it is that you're looking for. This is where you can identify, kind of what the story is all about, where the project is currently set, and, maybe some of your philosophy. And then, of course, letting people know how they're going to get paid is always important. And I'm including a note down here as well. If you know anybody who can fulfill any of these roles, of course, please spread the word and encourage them to apply. So once we're done there, we're going to go down here. We can see that we can attach image attachments as examples. So I'm going to just pull this up here, and we're going to say, let's say, Jack Kirby as an example of the type. Okay, amazing. Save and preview. Perfect. We can now see that our draft is available. It's going to have everything that we just put in here for people to preview and take a look at, and we're ready to go. All right, so we're going to leave this in draft for now, but if you do want to publish it, you just click here. We're going to go back to the Talent Marketplace. We're now going to look at what it takes to create a profile as an actual creator looking to get hired. So create new listing. In this case, we're going to select for hire. We're going to keep it English as well. And it's going to be a very similar flow to what we were looking at. It's just the other side of the equation, right? So it's just instead of describing a project, you're going to be describing yourself. So I'm going to say, hey, I actually have an example here. Amazing. Just a basic headline and subheadline, again, introducing people to who you are. Let's say for the results and outcomes, I am down to pretty much do everything but crowdfunding campaign. And I'm going to say I'm down to do, to 100 pages at a clip. And I can make work for all ages. I'm just going to select the first 5 here, so you don't have to watch me select everything, but just to show you, what the menus look like. And we're going to say I make realistic, simplistic, tuned, and Western comics. And I am okay with making mature content, so I'm going to click that. So in terms of my skills, I'm going to say in this case that I'm an artist, and I work on a per page basis. And let's say I don't work for less than 100 per page, right? Add role, next description. And then this is where I get to show people a bit more about who I am. I can link to my Instagram to show them, a bit more of my portfolio. And then, of course, you can, I was very much encouraged to include samples of your work here. So I'm plagiarizing work here from Takana. I hope I don't butcher that pronunciation. And of course, that way people can see what my work is. And it's pretty much as straightforward as that. Once you make that, you can see that there's going to be an option for you to publish. It's going to have all the information we just put in. And you are ready to go. Okay, now that we have created those listings, I'm going to show you what it takes to actually apply. So first things first, I'm going to go into the Seeking People section, meaning I'm looking for projects that are seeking folks. I'm going to click the first one I see, and I'm going to take a look at this project. And it looks like they're looking for a team of creators for a new shared superhero universe line. We Are Legion is just giving us a sample of what they're all about. And then finally down here, we're going to take a look at the details. It looks like they're looking for about 6 pages at first. And you can break down everything here, the production outputs, the roles, and everything like that. And then, of course, this is where you get to know them a bit better, their description. So they're starting off with rates are negotiable. Sounds like they're willing to, meet people where they're at. That's really awesome, and I really like that. So as a creator in this example, I'm thinking, great. All of this sounds great. I really appreciate their straightforward approach. I'm going to apply to the project. So now that I've gotten here, you'll notice that I have a profile set up, ready to go. So this is why this is important to have your profile already set up before you apply to a project, right? So let's see. My desired roles, in this case, I'm applying to be a colorist and an illustrator. I'm down to do pretty much everything here except for my crowdfunding campaign skills are a little rusty. I'm not going to do a crowdfunding campaign for them. And then I currently have 10 years experience according to my profile as an advisor, and I'm willing to work for no less than $50,000 a page. Of course, that's entirely ridiculous, but that's what I put when I set up my profile. So for the application summary, I'm going to say pretty much everything I need to say. I read through your project and it sounds amazing. I am looking to do blah, 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 blah. My rates are, XYZ for this type of work. But I'd be willing to trade some equity / ownership, et cetera, et cetera. And this is where you're going to let them know who you are, and that way you can get hired for the best possible rate. Once you're ready, you click Submit Application, and you're ready to go. I'm not going to submit just because I don't think that my rates are particularly fair, and I am not a skilled illustrator, so I won't waste their time. So the flow for hiring people is quite similar. If they haven't applied to your project, you simply go up here to For Hire. You're going to see that Ness Quicksilver, their username is a comic writer, letterist, translator, and webtoon to print formatter. Amazing. Let's say I'm interested in hiring that exact type of person, and their name is Christian. Okay, nice to meet you, Christian. And we're going to take a look at their listing details, their skills, what they're looking to do. Okay, amazing. Here's a quick description. Okay, let's say I really like what they're up to, and I want to commission Christian Perez. So I'm going to click this, and it's going to look quite similar to what we just saw, right? It's going to show my profile, what I'm up to. I'm looking to hire, let's say, Christian as a letterer and a translator for my comic. I'd really be interested in them doing, possibly all kinds of work, including a crowdfunding campaign, for example. And this is actually where my skills and experience show up, so that way they have a sense of who I am. And then finally, I could say, hi, Christian. I really like your work. Etc. I won't bore you with any more details. You guys know your business. You know what you're looking for. This is where you get a chance to say it. Submit application, and Christian will get a notification. Now, what happens when you actually go and receive an application? Well, let's take a look. We're going to go back to we're going to go into our settings here. We're going to go down to our account. No, we're going to go down to talent listings. This is going to take us back to the drafts that we created earlier. And we're going to click Need Creators to bring new line of superhero comics to life. This is what we created earlier in the video, but right now it is not published. So you'll see that we have it, and it looks like this. We're going to click View Public Listing. We're going to click Publish. Right? Yes. Now it is public and it's ready to go. So I'm going to click here, Manage Listing. And you're going to see that one person, which I believe is me, has already seen your post, right? So let's see. So what's important to note here is that as more and more people see it, and as the days progress, you're going to be able to get a sense for how many people are looking at, how many visits are coming, how many unique visitors are coming through, as well as the amount of applications actually sent. So let's say you have a lot of people coming in, a lot of people visiting, but nobody's applying. It might be time to, ask the question, okay, well, what is it about my application that isn't good? Am I asking people to work for free without any compensation? Am I not describing the project well, et cetera, et cetera? And this is the kind of information that can help you decipher that. And then finally, we can look at our acquisition sources. This is really interesting. So as you go and actually start to share out your listing, and use GlobalComix Talent Marketplace not just as a point for people to come discover, but as a place for people to go and apply, and a place to manage your applications. You'll share out links to your listing on things like comic book labs on Reddit, or through your newsletter, or on an Instagram post, or through your bio, whatever it might be. As people click, you're going to see them start to show up here and see where they're actually coming from. Very similar to what it looks like when you're sharing your comic out. You start to see the acquisition sources and say, okay, wow, my newsletter is really driving a lot of people, but Twitter is not sending as many people. What's happening there? What do I need to change? And you can start to, maneuver through there. I actually have a video that we made about this very topic that is linked in the top left corner that you can click on to understand how acquisition sources work and how you can actually start to use them to your advantage. That being said, that's pretty much everything on the dashboard. Once people start to apply, you're going to see an application list here. And this is where you can start to read through people and what they wrote. Very similar to what we were writing in the previous section. Get a sense for who people are. Let's say, you have 5 different people. You can compare them, take a look, and actually hire them and click them hired through here. Finally, if you need to go back and change anything, you just click the setup button here, and you can go into each of these sections, change what you need to change. I'm going to click here, demo, don't apply, just so that anybody that currently is seeing this live doesn't accidentally click and apply there, just because this is a demo listing. So that's pretty much the components around the back end of managing your listing, everything around there. Now, one of the biggest benefits that we offer, and we're incredibly proud to be working with Gamal and C3, is the free legal consultation. So once your listing actually goes live, you'll see that this legal tab shows up here, and you will be able to read a bit about what C3 is all about. They're a boutique legal practice specializing in entertainment, specifically around comic book contracts. Gamal is one of the only lawyers in North America that specializes in this particular, field of law. And you're going to be able to work with him to get a sense for how to manage this negotiation process, both as somebody hiring and as also a freelancer. We know that, when it comes to negotiating contracts and having agreements in place, especially in the comics industry, it can get really hairy and a little complicated, and having somebody on your side who knows the ins and outs is something that we think is invaluable. And we're incredibly happy that Gamal is offering this so generously for folks that use the talent marketplace. You can take advantage of it by just simply agreeing to the terms and disclaimers. Make sure to read those, of course, as Gamal would advise you. And then you're going to click Submit Request. He'll automatically get an email generated, and you'll be able to start chatting with him as soon as he responds. And that's pretty much that. If you have any questions, if there's anything missing from here, feel free to comment below or email us at contact@globalcomix.com, and we'll be sure to have more stuff on the way. But in the meantime, happy searching for your talent, happy searching for jobs, and please let us know how we can improve. We're always trying to make this a better place for the comics community, for both creators and readers. So with that, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.